Before humans synchronized time to atomic clocks or rigid calendars, the measurement of history was entirely organic. You measured an era by the unpredictable decay of the human body. This diagram illustrates the official Roman concept of the saeculum. By their definition, a saeculum wasn't a fixed century. It was the absolute maximum possible lifespan of a single human being. This biological limit dictated when Rome threw its massive secular festivals. The trigger was morbidly specific. A festival could only be held when the very last living person who remembered the previous festival finally died. Because no one could predict when that final person would pass away, the measurement of historical eras was chaotic. It was an entirely organic system that made scheduling the future impossible. Eventually, the Roman historian Varro decided this biological chaos needed a rigid structure. He threw out the unpredictable lifespans and established a standardized mathematical rule. One saeculum would now equal exactly 110 years. This graphic tracks that standard algorithm, starting with Emperor Augustus. He hosted a highly publicized secular festival in 17 BC. The problem? He missed Varro's mark entirely. If you follow the 110-year rule, the festival shouldn't have happened until 1780. The math doesn't get better over time. Look at Emperor Domitian. He hosted his own festival in 88 AD, missing the required 110-year calculation by a full 6 years. We are left with two options. Either the most powerful, highly educated architects of the Roman Empire completely failed at basic addition, or the standard 110-year framework simply doesn't match the actual data. When we stop trying to force the 110-year rule and instead look for a pattern that actually matches the recorded festival dates of 509 and 146 BC, the math consistently lands on a new variable, 122 years. This timeline projects that 122-year interval forward from the founding of Rome. When you calculate exactly 6 intervals of 122 to 123 years, the timeline lands precisely on 17 BC. Suddenly, the math works. Under this specific 122-year patch, Augustus's supposedly inaccurate festival date turns into a flawlessly precise execution. That perfect alignment shows us that the festival timing was never a blunder. It was the precise execution of a hidden structural formula underlying the Roman calendar. This document analyzes the preceding era, the Roman kingdom, to see if the patch holds up. Rome was ruled by kings from 753 BC to 509 BC, a total duration of 244 years. Mathematically, 244 years equates to exactly 2 122-year cycles. This table breaks down the individual lifespans of the kings within those 2 cycles. In the first cycle, the reigns last 37, 43, and 24 years. In the second cycle, those exact same reign durations repeat in the exact same order. Organic human biology does not loop identical chronological lifespans. The data shows that the Roman kingdom is a mathematically fabricated sequence. This illustration maps the timeline after the kings were overthrown in 509 BC. Here, the hidden chronological code stops using fabricated human lifespans and shifts its focus entirely to warfare. This chart demonstrates how the Republic's greatest existential crises occur on a strict metronome. The Gallic sack of Rome, the outbreak of the Punic Wars, and the ultimate destruction of Carthage, all of them trigger flawlessly on a 118 to 123-year beat. This panel isolates a slight deviation. The 122-year interval is compressed down to 118 or 119 years, acting as a precise chronological docking mechanism. This allows the rhythm to lock perfectly into the 95-year Easter cycle, which dictated the timeline of late antiquity. The Republic's darkest hours of war and structural collapse function as scheduled system updates, occurring with a regularity that defies organic chance. If we run this algorithmic architecture backward from the founding of Rome, we find the absolute origin point. This graphic traces the timeline prior to the Roman kingdom. Exactly 4 122-year intervals before Rome is founded, we hit 1241 BC, the fall of Troy. Measure the distance from Troy to Augustus, and you get exactly 10 cycles, perfectly fulfilling an ancient Etruscan prophecy. The math creates a flawless 1,220-year origin story, deliberately constructed over a millennium. We generally accept human history as a chaotic, unpredictable sequence of organic events. This schematic contrasts that belief against the hard evidence. From Troy to Augustus, early Roman history is built on a rigid, highly calculated artificial blueprint. This architectural section reveals the depth of the design. Roman historians systematically reverse-engineered their own past, manipulating dates and lifespans to fit a divine mathematical framework. The foundational timeline of Western civilization functions as the carefully coded mythology of an empire, mathematically justifying its right to exist.